Welcome, everyone, to our 15th birthday party. And thank you to each of you for coming to celebrate with us. And thank you for being part of this journey. My name is Tara Shiklovsky, and I'm the founder and CEO of this nonprofit that was first called Iridescent, and that is how so many of you know us. And for the past few years has been called Technovation. I wanted to share some of the key milestones, lessons, and insights from the past 15 years that have guided not just the name change, but also some of the strategic shifts for the coming seasons. So, 15 years in 15 minutes. So, it all started with a dare. It was the last week in July in 2006, and I had made the decision to not continue my PhD in aerospace engineering and to start Iridescent. I knew what the mission was to empower underserved communities to be change makers and innovators. But I didn't know what the approach should be. I had spent 5 months reading hundreds of education research articles and was not much wiser. So my husband got fed up and said, I dare you to do something before August. And that was just a week ago. Oh, wait. So I put a free ad in the local newspaper. It was called The Argonaut in Los Angeles, advertising build and fly hands on workshops for families, and showed up that Saturday morning with a little red trundling cart of paper airplanes and models. I felt so vulnerable and ill equipped to handle anything. But one mom and her son showed up, stayed the whole hour, and had so much fun. So the ice had been broken, and I had won the dare. Meantime, my readings were helping me converge towards a unique approach. Two pieces of research stood out to me particularly. One was a book called Learning Together by Barbara Rogoff and Carolyn Turkanis about the open classroom model still operational in a school in Salt Lake City, Utah. I went there and stayed for a whole week observing parents and children leading projects and co learning together. Really, really cool. The other was the Coleman Report. It was from 1965, coming out of the civil rights movement, but was unusual in its size, serving 600,000 students all across United States, different socioeconomic backgrounds from first to 12th grade. What they found was something interesting, that it was not the quality of the teachers or schools that determined academic achievement, but the parents. The third influence was an unusual outreach program conducted by the graduate physics program at the University of California, Santa Barbara, called the Flying Circus of Physics. Graduate students got credit for teaching physics over a semester to neighboring communities. I combined these two strands and launched the Family Science program. I had fun making lots of posters, but was very nervous whether this approach would work because each principal that I talked to said that their parents were not engaged and would not participate in a 5 week family science program. And we were surprised. I made lots and lots of posters, and it was so heartening to see that families did participate, and in the hundreds. The humbling lesson was that we are all more alike than we are different. We all want high quality learning experiences for our children. We want to connect with cool people, and we want to bond as a family. And we all hate chores. So the combination of dinner with an opportunity to learn is simple and effective. We found that the families really enjoyed bonding together, and children really appreciated seeing their parents in the new role of a learner. So 3 years passed, and we slowly grew the family science program, reaching roughly 1,500 children and parents. This was our 2009 impact report. It fit on one page. At the end of 2009, my friend Anu Tiwari approached me with an idea. She had just participated in Startup Weekend and wanted to run a similar but longer program and only for high school girls. My recommendation was to make sure mentors played a critical role in the program, and Anu started to pull together the pieces for the first Technovation Challenge season, where 45 girls worked in teams with mentors to build mobile apps on topics of their interest. And at the same time, we were interested in figuring out how to bring the family science program to more under-resourced families, and were curious about using an online platform to do so. We ran a large survey with roughly 950 parents from some of the most low-income communities across LA. The lighter the color on the map, the higher the poverty levels, asking them what features they would like on such an online platform. And they asked for information about college access, connections to mentors, lessons, videos, as well as the ability to share project photos with family members and friends. Based on the survey results, we applied for a grant from the National Science Foundation and launched an online version of the Family Science program, the Curiosity Machine. Families could watch videos of scientists and engineers explaining key concepts and upload pictures of their own projects and get help from mentors whenever they got stuck. Mentors, in turn, could upload videos of themselves explaining key concepts, and students had the ability to build a digital engineering notebook and portfolio of projects over time. This suite of tools and models was compelling, especially for funders interested in engaging underserved communities and girls in STEM. And the Office of Naval Research gave us a large grant to scale up our programs. At one point, we were running 14 different types of programs in different locations for different age groups, lengths, and formats, really collecting data, evaluating it to see which ones resulted in the deepest impact and could scale. The support enabled us to increase our scale by 6x. And this is a report from 2010 when we reached roughly 6,000 participants over the year. In parallel, we were running the Technovation Challenge for girls, steadily growing. Anu had gone back into the tech industry after the first year of the program. And in 2013, we launched an online version of Technovation. And it was one of the first MOOCs to be offered on the peer-to-peer university platform offered by Mozilla. We didn't know if it would be successful and was so thrilled to see almost 600 girls from 11 countries participate. It had now been 8 years of running the Family Science program, and we received another NSF grant to evaluate the impact of the program on participants. The results were heartening, but there were a lot of questions around whether it truly made a lasting change in a learner's identity and whether this model could scale. Because at the end of the day, the model was not taking into account what families were interested in learning. It was centered around what the engineers and scientists were comfortable teaching. And that was very, very valuable still. The model was powerful for the mentors, especially as a purpose-driven, skill-based volunteering opportunity. And this allowed under-resourced communities to build valuable social capital and new connections into STEM pathways. Based on this, Boeing partnered with us to celebrate their 100-year anniversary. We had a lot of fun working with Boeing engineers to develop 25 unique hands-on design challenges around aerospace on the Curiosity Machine. The partnership also enabled us to scale the family science model outside of the United States. We found that families from different cultures and backgrounds also appreciated time spending learning together. By this time, we had been running for 10 years and had accumulated some recipe ingredients. It was clear that programs needed to be longer to make lasting change in a learner's identity. The 6 hours of a family science program were not enough to do so. Comparing Technovation and the family science program, it was also clear that students were most motivated when they were challenged to tackle real-world problems in their communities. This feature also enabled local customization. We could offer an online curriculum, and volunteers could adapt it to meet local problems and needs, a key to scale. What we learned from the family science model was that both parents and mentors needed to be co-learners, modeling lifelong learning. I don't know, let's find out together. This built the strongest fabric. And finally, it helped greatly if the curriculum introduced cutting-edge technologies and skills to communities. It increased the glam factor while also upskilling the community. Based on these lessons, we ran a 10-week AI Family Challenge program in 2018 and 19, inviting families across 16 countries to learn how to use AI to tackle problems in their communities. And again, we didn't know whether people would be interested. A lot of feedback was underserved communities don't want to learn about AI. And gosh, we were surprised. Families were so grateful to say, we know that we have AI operating in our phone. Nobody ever bothered to tell us how this works. So here is a short video about the program.
this whole program for me is like a way to go ahead and teach people that AI is a tool that can make your life better.
Technology definitely plays a huge role in our lives now, and I definitely see it playing even a bigger role in the future.
The AI Family Challenge program is a multi-week course that immerses youth and their families all around the world in understanding AI, what it is, how it's used, and think about what problems in our community could AI solve for us.
அதனால நிறைய இன்னும் புதுசாக கண்டுபிடிக்கணும், சொசைட்டிக்கு ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்.
The more we know about artificial intelligence, the more impact we can make on the community.
As we were bringing our programs closer together, we were also steadily reaching more and more participants. In 2019, we engaged almost 60,000 participants from all around the world. And COVID changed all that. But it also taught us a new lesson. Online platforms and curriculum are important, but without someone to inspire and motivate us, we all just end up spending hours on YouTube or Facebook. Mentors inspire us to achieve and reach our potential, and it was the thick network of support that the Technovation community provided girls in 2020 and this year that has been the only reason we survived the pandemic. So thank you to all of you. And the impact has been amazing to watch. Our girls have grown up and have continued to lead change and innovation in their communities. We have an alumni community that is 100,000 strong. 20,000 of them are in college and in the workforce. 76% of them are pursuing STEM degrees. 50% of them drive change and innovation in their communities. And 60% of them say that it's because of Technovation. So, yay! But as we celebrate, we also want to be sure that we are very clear eyed about the big task we have ahead of us, building back better. Over the coming years, we will be focusing on improving our curriculum for all ages. The Technovation curriculum has always been so much more than just learning how to code. We want to continue improving various elements of problem identification, understanding of human behavioral barriers, the ethical implication of prototypes, better understanding of oneself, what fuels us, what frustrates us, what bores us, and most importantly, a deeper understanding of tackling the complex problems that lie ahead of us. This year, we are super excited to partner with the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs to bring AI and space technologies to help girls better tackle the Sustainable Development Goals. This is a useful framework that was just published in Nature, outlining different categories of problems. We want to provide better tutorials for girls interested in tackling problems in each of these categories so that their innovations can be deployed into the real world and be more effective. And finally, we are absolutely thrilled to announce that we are bringing together all our lessons and insights from the past 15 years into one offering this coming season. We are adding a new division to the Technovation program, inviting younger girls ages 8 to 12 to work with their parents to tackle problems they care about collectively and to participate in the Technovation program. We will continue to offer the junior and senior divisions as before. We will also dedicate efforts towards our alumni community, ensuring that these young women have more support as they make their way into the world as leaders and change makers. As always, I'm sure we will make mistakes. We have so much to learn, and we invite each of you to join us in facing what lies ahead. Thank you for supporting us, for believing in us. Let's celebrate our amazing girls and celebrate this unique community that we have created together. Thank you.